And I don't think they should do it. I think they should evaluate it week by week, and we'll see.
So what's your gut feeling right here, right now?
No, Wentz will be the starter next year. And I think there'll be probably a good chance they have unless they win out, Skip, and win the division, I don't really see a scenario in which Dougie P comes back. I think that's the more likely scenario. I don't know how Carson can start given given that Doug benched him. Skip, you don't bench quarterbacks in their fourth season and still be there and then turn around and go back to them at some point in time. I've never seen, now look, you've been around it longer than I have. I don't know, I can't say in my years of playing that I saw a quarterback in his fourth year get benched and then the head coach that benched him is still there, turns back to him and everything is hunky-dory. I haven't seen that. Not to say that it can't happen, but I just haven't seen it. So I think the more likely scenario is that unless Jalen Hurts gets hurt, he finishes out the season, but I believe Wentz is going to be the starter. Now that's for them. They make a lot more money than I do to determine that. But I believe Wentz will be the starter next year, but it will be under the tutelage of a different head coach.
I told you the day this young man was drafted, Jalen Hurts, right? I posted this social. Jalen Hurts will be better than Carson Wentz. You'll win more games with Jalen Hurts than you will win with Carson Wentz. They are clearly, quote unquote, stuck with Carson against the cap because unlike the Dallas Cowboys, they gave him his money right on schedule. And now they are almost held hostage by that money. It's virtually impossible. You can't cut him. It's just too debilitating against your cap. It would wreck your cap going forward for the next 2 years. If you could get somebody to take him off your hands, and somebody might, that's the only way out from under his deal.
But even if you trade him, you still got dead money.
You still get hit. But it's not like you get hit if you cut him. So to me, right now, Carson Wentz's future in this league is teetering, depending upon how Jalen plays, with a beat-up, banged-up defense at Kyler Murray next Sunday at Arizona. And remember, the Arizona defense came alive against Daniel Jones and the kid they took 13th overall, 2017, Hassan Reddick.
Yeah.
He just came back to life, man.
Man, I can imagine when he get paired with Chandler Jones, and they might have something.
Rolling yesterday, and they're going to be coming after Jalen Hurts, obviously.
Be careful, Skip. This kid can run now. He'll jump out and go.
Okay, which kid? Are we talking about Kyler?
I'm talking about Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
He's not going to sit back there like Daniel Jones. There's nothing wrong with his hamstrings.
Nope, I agree with you. So, to me, all I know for sure is I believe heart and soul that Jalen will be better than Carson. So, it depends how he's going to play this out. Obviously, at Arizona, at Dallas, at Jerry World, and then home against Washington that seems to be separated.
Right.
If he wins out, now you got the biggest problem you've ever had because what are you going to do?
Right.
You're stuck financially, but you're stuck emotionally because you see what he can do that Carson Wentz can't do.
Right.
So what is, as I call him, give it to him, Wentz. What has he done so far this year? He's led the NFL in sacks, led in interceptions, led in total turnovers. At the very bottom, I think he's 30th in completion percentage. So he's just bad. And it looks like he's lost a lot of faith in himself.
He has. Skip, what you mentioned, you're talking about if you let Jalen Hurts stay in there and he went out. Well, this is the problem that the Eagles created to begin with. You created this. You had a quarterback that you gave this money to, and you knew the question was the moment you took a quarterback inside of 3 rounds, you knew the questions were going to come. But, Skip, this reminds me, I got another relationship. Skip, this is a situation where, you know what? The old people used to tell me, boy, it's cheaper to keep her. In other words, Skip, I don't want to let him go because if I let him go, Skip, it's going to cost me a ton of money. Dead money if I let him go. But if I keep him, I ain't in love with him or her anymore. But I got to keep him. I got to keep him or her.
Sometimes you just have to bite that bullet.
You got to, Skip. Like, you know what? Hey, here's the check. Go ahead and go about your way. Because I ain't happy. Somebody, I ain't happy with you, and enough of me sleeping upstairs, you sleeping downstairs, I'm downstairs, you upstairs. Let's just go ahead here. Here's the check. Jeffrey Lurie, he got to be worth $1 billion plus, Skip.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and cut, just chalk it up. Hey, lesson learned. Next time, get a prenup. It's as simple as that, Skip.
They did not get a prenup.
They did.
They got married fast.
Yeah, they went to your shotgun with the Vegas, with them little white chapels.
Yep. Okay, so what I've told you about Jalen Hurts is you saw on full display yesterday. He's a natural-born leader. I thought he inspired the whole football team. I would say quarterback can have the most impact on a team, but a pitcher can in baseball too.
Right.
But a quarterback is long-term. It needs to be every 5 days.
It needs to be somebody that has the ball in their hand.
Right. Okay. So Jalen Hurts yesterday changed the way they play football because you could see even the defense rose to the occasion before all the injuries happened. And they looked different on defense. They looked different on offense. All of a sudden, people are catching balls instead of dropping balls. Did anybody drop a ball yesterday? I don't remember one. All of a sudden, they were clicking at a high level because they thought, gee, we got a guy who's in command. He's in control of his own emotions, and he's channeling everything. All of his playmaking and winning intangibles are being channeled into positivity, and we're not turning the ball over. And I told you, the play of the game for me was when they got backed up 2nd and 11 at the 3-yard line, and I thought this is jail time. This is where Carson Wentz has a recipe for disaster. And Jalen just quick play fake on the read option, and he has such easy speed outside and then such power to close a run.
And the thing is, Skip, they might have called that same play for Wentz, but Wentz could not run the defensive end.
No, he couldn't. And you have to be careful. And once you get stymied, would he go deer in headlights and lose the football in the end zone? Maybe. Okay. Jalen had one late turnover, which was just a careless rookie mistake. You're killing the clock. They're going to punch. And he let the ball get punched out in the pile, and you just can't do it. And he will learn from that. Because these guys are bigger and stronger than the Big 12 or SEC defense.
Skip, the guys have gotten so good at it. It used to be every once in a while you see Peanut Tillman, Charles Tillman, he's the best. He's the best I've ever seen. And now, Skip, you see every DB, you see every linebacker. That's the first thing they go. Sometimes they miss tackle, Skip. They let the guy run in the end zone to get a first down because they're trying to attack the ball. And sometimes you got to get the ball on the ground. But now, in a situation like that, getting you on the ground is unimportant. Getting the ball out is the most important. So they're going to try to punch the ball out. Like you said, he'll learn from that. But for me, Skip, this like I'm still undecided. My mind hadn't made up. Man, you better stop playing. You just beat the hottest team in the NFL.
Doug Peterson.
You just beat the hottest team in the NFL, Skip. They won 9 straight, and they had throttled everybody.
And you had lost 4 straight.
Exactly. And you were talking about you thinking about starting somebody else.
Right, and they'd gone 56 games without allowing a single 100-yard rusher, and your quarterback ran for 100, and your running back ran for another 100.
I tell you what you do. Go upstairs and tell your owner, Jeffrey Lurie, that you're thinking about starting Carson Wentz again and see what he tell you.
Well, we did see a story before the game that Philly is still committed to go forward with Carson Wentz because I think they don't know what else to say. It's like, well, you've almost... Your hands are tied. You have to be.
Skip, you could be committed in 2021, but you ain't committed in 2020. Moving forward, hey, this kid right here that won that game yesterday, I believe unless he's injured, and I hope that doesn't happen, I believe he finishes the season as the starting quarterback in Philly.
Okay, so what I love about Jalen's background over Carson's background is Carson always played at North Dakota State, and he played in big games on that level, but it was on that level. Not like this. Jalen started as a freshman at Alabama, played in a lot of big games. He had problems throwing the football, which eventually cost him his job. But once Tua started to struggle, he got thrown back in the fourth quarter of the SEC championship game against Georgia and won 14-0 and got them back to the championship game. Right? Okay, so then he goes to Oklahoma and he plays for the master, the quarterback whisperer and teacher, Lincoln Riley. And all of a sudden last year I'm saying, wait a second, the motion looks better. The position looks better. He's reading quicker, and he's delivering accurate strikes. And he's got a little above average arm. It's good enough to win at this level. And the point is that I think Lincoln Riley can work one. Look what he's done now. We got Baker playing tonight, obviously, against Baltimore, and we got Kyler playing at the high level, obviously beating the Giants, who were red hot.
So we giving Lincoln, or we gonna give Cliff Kingsbury? Who gets the credit?
For Kyler?
For Kyler, Baker?
I think Lincoln gets a lot of the credit. I think he taught them all how to throw the football, and all of a sudden he's looking like the quarterback guru, right?
Yeah, Skip, I don't see a scenario, like I said, that Wentz. And the thing is, Wentz going to have to, Skip, he's going to have to stay healthy. I mean, he had this problem in college. He got hurt in college.
He did.
I mean, it's hard for a guy to get hurt in college and then come to the NFL and heal up.
Yeah.
They play more games, they hit harder, and you're more susceptible to those kind of hits and those kind of injuries.
Well, I've told you, Kyler has that defense mechanism for sliding and staying out of harm's way. He got his shoulder banged up, and I think it's still bothering him.
Even on the slide, Skip, I mean, it wasn't like he was trying to take it. He was trying to slide.
Trying to slide. Jalen doesn't have the defense mechanism. He's just so strong that he can give and take some punishment. He's got to be smart about it.
But you saw him yesterday, Skip. He ran out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds.
Slid. That one he went up the middle. He slid. He fade.
But if it's 3rd and 4 and he needs it,
right,
he will try for it.
I think the running quarterback, look, if you look at Russell Wilson, Russell has done it better than anybody that's scrambling quarterback.
He has.
Russell ain't taking no shot.
No.
And I think everybody looks at RG3, says, this is what you don't want to do. You show 2 images. You show Russell and you show RG3.
Yep.
One guy, you can play 10, 11 years and still play it. And the other guy, you'll be a backup and you say people asking, what could have been, what should have been. Because he was RG3, Kyler Murray, before they even set foot in the NFL. But couldn't slide, couldn't get down.
No.
Took unnecessary punishment, and here we are.
So maybe after one game I am overreacting, but I'm going to say that Jalen Hurts, game number 1, next football season will be the starting quarterback for the Eagles. I don't know how they're going to get out from under Carson. I just believe they will.
Put 4 cases on it.
4 cases?
4 cases do.
Well, did you see what Nick Foles did in place of Carson in 2017?
I see what Trubisky did in place of Nick Foles yesterday.
Well, think of what Carson's been up